Welcome to Raj Online Trainings. In the series of Hibernate 6 version tutorial, let us go with one more new topic in this video and very important one, that is Hibernate mapping. And we are going to discuss today one-to-one mapping relationship. Let us understand what is this one-to-one mapping relationship. Let us consider we are having a table. Let us go with a table, customer. Let us go with a table, customer table. Or let us take the table name as customer info. We are taking the table name as customer info. In this customer info table, let us go with the columns like customer ID, and customer name. Let us consider we are having some customer ID like 111, the name of the customer, 222, the name of the customer, 333, the name of the customer. In this one, this customer ID, let us mark it as a primary key. This customer ID is your primary key. Primary key means which is unique. It is mainly used to identify the row uniquely. Let us consider we are having the address table where customer want to map with the address table. For every customer, we are going to have the address. Let me take the address info, the name of the table, where we go with the columns. Like, let us go with the column names like address ID, and address. Let us go with the address ID like 101. The address, let us consider Hyderabad. Address ID 102, Mumbai. 103, Chennai. Some addresses here. Now in this one, this address ID, let us make it as primary key. This address ID is the primary key. Now for this customer, we are going to have the address. Now we want to map this customer info table with address info table. So for this 111 customer ID, we want to map it to this 101 address. So how the mapping is done is by using a concept like foreign key. So we are going to make this address ID of address info table, that is the primary key of address info table, we are going to mark it as foreign key. We are going to make it foreign key. So the main use of foreign key is to join the tables, to join one table with another table, mapping one table with another table. So for this 111, we want to provide the address ID 111, we want to go with address ID 101. For 222, 102. For 333, 103. So since for one customer we are having one address, so we call it as one-to-one mapping. We call this one as what here? One-to-one mapping. Now, how to do this one-to-one mapping is by using the annotation @1-to-1. @1-to-1 annotation is used for one-to-one mapping. Use this @1-to-1 annotation. Now let us go with the complete example application. Open Eclipse. In this Hibernate 6 project, under src main Java, under this entity package com.hibernate6.entity, let us create a new project class customer. And let us create one more project class address. Under this customer, let us go with the properties like private int customer ID, private string customer name, and we are going to map to address. So go with the property address. generate setters and getter methods for these three properties. Generate getters and setter methods. Now here apply the annotations like @entity to map this customer as the entity class, and to change the name of the table we'll say @table name equal to customer info. The name of the table we are taking customer info. And to mark this customer ID as primary key, @ID. To change the column name, @column name equal to customer underscore ID. And for this customer name, let us change the name of the column, name equal to customer underscore name. Now this address is mapped. For this customer, we are mapping this address. So here we have to use, for one customer, we are going to have one address. So we'll say @121. We have to just use the annotation @121. Import the respective packages. So this annotation is important in this piece of code @121. Now come to this address, go with the properties like private address ID, private string address. Generate setters and getter methods. Now apply the annotations @entity, @table to change the name of the table like address info, and to mark this address ID as the primary key @ID, column, the name of the column we are taking it as address underscore ID. Right? So these are the annotations, and these are the respective import statements. So already we discussed these annotations in the previous videos. Now, once we create these Pojo classes, we need to add these Pojo classes to the configuration file. So under src main resources, go to this hibernate.cfg.xml file, add the mapping resources. So here you can say mapping class equal to com.hibernate6.entity.customer. One more mapping class equal to com.hibernate6.entity.address. So we're adding these two classes to the configuration file. Now let us create the test class to test our application under this com.hibernate6.test package. Create a new class, one-to-one mapping test with main method. Get the session factory session equal to hibernate util dot get session factory, then open session factory dot open session, then begin the transaction. These are common steps. Session dot begin transaction. Import the package for transaction. Now create address object, address addr1 equal to new address. Then set the values addr1 dot set id 101, addr1 dot set address Hyderabad. Now create object of customer 1 equal to new customer. Then customer 1 dot set id 111, customer 1 dot set customer name some name. Now to this customer we are going to add the address here. So to this customer we are adding this address details. Now persist your objects, session dot persist your address one object. Similar way, session dot persist your customer one object. Then commit your transaction, close the session as usual code. Now run this application, right click and say run as Java application. the tables will get created. And if you check your database, we are in the Hibernate 6 database. Select star from address info. Here we are having the address ID 101 with an address Hyderabad. Now if you say select star from customer info, we are having the customer ID 111 with the customer name Raj and mapped with what address at 101. So address underscore address ID. So it's mapped with 101. So similar way, you can create the new records here. If you can go with just I'm changing the data over here only directly 102 Mumbai. Customer ID 222, customer name Ramu, and we are setting the address here. Now run this program. Now check it here in your table. Select star from address. So we are adding one more address 102 Mumbai. And if you take the table, select star from customer info, see new customer 222 with Ramu and map it with what 102. Similar way, you can add one more address 103 Chennai. Here I am taking the customer ID 333, customer name Ramya, and we are adding this, setting the address. Same this address is added to 303. Sorry, 333. Now run this code again. Data will get inserted into the table. And if you check your table, let's start from address info. 103 address is added with the name Chennai. And if you go with customer info, so this 333 address ID Ramya is mapped with the address ID 103. So the important annotation over here is to do the mapping, we use the annotation @ 1-1. So this is the new one, what you have learned in this video, right? So that's about in this video. So we'll be adding one more new video on one-to-many relationship in the next video. Please subscribe, like and share. Thank you.